What's up, everybody? Welcome to the fourth and final week of Happy Hour-ween.
Oh!
I'm Mike.
I'm Tabby.
She's one of those girls in the woods that eats Mr. Wilkins. She's a werewolf, but we don't know that for sure.
Please be gentle.
It's my first time.
So, bear with me. It's my first time. My. What big eyes you have.
You know we can't be doing this stuff on the air. So this week we are talking about 2007's Trick or Treat.
Super fucking excited because
Yes.
This is a really fantastic movie. Like, it's probably...
It's a comic book movie.
I mean, yeah, it
Well,
is.
graphic novel.
Graphic novel, same thing.
Yeah.
Unless you want to fight me on that one.
Yeah, they're kind of the same. They're the same, I guess. So, Trick or Treat was written and directed by Michael Dougherty, produced by Bryan Singer, and it's got a great cast, actually. It's got Bryan Singer. It's got Dylan Baker, Anna Paquin, Brian Cox, Rochelle Aites, Leslie Bitt. No, so this movie actually came out in December of 2007, only in certain film festivals.
Yep.
Just a couple. That was it.
And it went straight to DVD.
2 years later.
I know. Which was super sad.
But during its 2-year run in those film festivals, it received...
Rave reviews.
Oh, rave reviews. One right after the next.
Unfortunately, though, on IMDb, it only has a 6.7. I
Well,
am very disappointed.
Is that what IMDb rated it, or is that what critics rated it?
That's what
According to
it
IMDb.
just gave the fucking stars. Like, it just gave
That's
the
it?
stars, and it said 6.7 out of 10.
No, that is so stupid.
It's like a 9.5 out of 10.
But they're entitled to their wrong opinions. This movie had a budget of $12 million.
Jesus, if I had a budget of $12 million.
Yeah. So the plot for Trick or Treat is this film is framed by Halloween night in the fictional town of Warren Valley, Ohio. The plot follows a non-linear narrative with characters crossing paths throughout the film. At the center of the story is Sam, a peculiar trick-or-treater with a burlap pajama costume who appears to enforce the quote-unquote rules and traditions of Halloween. Sam.
No wonder there's so many murders, and he's so angry. He's in Ohio.
Yeah. yeah, that's valid. Which is weird that it takes place in Ohio, because if you're the parade scene, there is somebody dressed up as Peyton Manning.
Yep. Making out with a lumberjack girl or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Speaking of rules of Halloween, number 1, always wear a costume. Number 2, always hand out treats. Number 3, never blow out a jack-o'-lantern. And number 4, always check your candy. Mm-hmm. And there's a blanket.
And there is probably dead kitties in that blanket, as we know. There you go.
I like those.
Yeah.
I want that.
So, how many times have you seen this movie, would you say?
I don't know. I've lost count.
A lot.
I mean, when it came out on DVD, we purchased it because we're like, oh, we've never heard of this before. And it's become a yearly tradition, and even more so yearly tradition. It's like somebody's like, I've never seen Trick or Treat. We're like, oh my God, you got to come over and watch it with us.
Yeah, well, I feel like I have seen Trick or Treat more than you because of your being at the haunt and mine not over the past few years.
True.
I have watched it, but also I watched it with you so you could watch it as well. So I usually this time of year is I'll see this movie at least, between 2 to 4 times.
I was going to say about 4 times in October. Yeah.
It's only in October.
Oh, only in October, yeah. Because we usually started off on October 1st or around the beginning of October with Trick or Treat. And then we watch it 1 or 2 more times in the middle. And we always finish out Halloween night with Trick or Treat.
And Halloween.
And Halloween 78.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We start with those two and end with those two.
Now, because my dumbass decided to go and get sick this weekend, we had to postpone our Halloween party.
Not just you. I've been sick since
Tuesday. Yeah. And that's why we sound like crap right now.
Yeah. Apologies to everyone for the sounding of our voices.
Our crusty ass voices.
We've been sick for damn near going on a week.
Yep. And so I'm actually really excited though that we extended or shifted, I should say, the Halloween party to next weekend, because that means we get an extra week of spooky, even though I haven't really been in the spooky.
Nobody has.
It really hasn't felt like, even though it's been beautiful outside, the weather's been awesome. It's just, it's not there.
The Happy Hour-ween stuff has helped, though.
Oh, absolutely.
We get to revisit some movies that we really like, and because we have to talk about them on here. Mm-hmm. So that helped.
Yep. And I'm super excited, though, for the Halloween party next weekend.
Meow, meow, meow.
We get to party with AJ.
From the Dads on Dayquil podcast. We'll be in the house.
In the house.
In 6 days. Only 6 more sleeps.
6 more sleeps. But no, I'm super excited because not only am I dressing up for Halloween to give out candy, but I'm dressing up again on Saturday, which normally I'd be not wanting to dress up at all because of haunt season, and I have to dress up almost every weekend.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of looking forward to it, but I'm also not. I don't know. Like, I don't want to put on makeup, but I do.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
I know usually when we dress up for Halloween, though, it's like we'll be dressed up for like an hour and then
take it off.
We end up in like pajamas, our pajamas.
I'm perfectly fine with that too. I'm going as an exhausted mom and a podcaster.
And I'm going as Billy Loomis or Stu Macher, whatever.
I like Stu better.
Laurie Metcalf, even, maybe.
Yeah.
Ghostface.
Of course.
So back to Trick or Treat.
Let's go.
So the opening scene, Emma and her Halloween-loving husband Henry return home after a celebratory night. Emma, who hates Halloween, blows out their jack-o'-lantern right before midnight against Harry's superstitious advice. As Harry relaxes and falls asleep in the house, Emma begins tearing down the front lawn decorations without his knowing, but is then ambushed and murdered by an unseen assailant. Hours later, Henry discovers her mutilated corpse on display with the decorations, courtesy of
Sam. So
cute little Sammy. Sammy.
I thought you were going to say,
Sammy.
Cue the intro. No. Who? So if you get home late from a Halloween party and you both are fucking buttered out of your mind, and you're like, let's go to bed, wink, wink. Let's go to wink, wink. And your partner goes, you go ahead and get started. I'm going to take down the Halloween decoration. Bitch, it's late. It's Halloween. You're drunk. Why are you taking down the Halloween decorations right now?
Go put on the tape.
Go put on the tape.
Then
he lit up like a little kid.
And then put on the tape and immediately went to sleep.
Uh-huh. But that's what happens when you get old.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we're going to go home and do it. And then you get home and it's like, well, good night. Love you. Kiss. Go to sleep.
I would never take down the Halloween decorations.
Not that late at night. Just save it for the next
day. I don't even
day.
take down the Halloween decorations until it's like the week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, usually mid-November is when we take ours down.
Because it hurts to take it down.
It does, and you're just like, I just don't really feel like it.
No, I don't want to do it.
Screw it. They're not hurting anybody. Just leave them. Who cares?
We just take down the spooky stuff and leave the lights. It's festive.
So let's talk about this scene. Mm-hmm. When we see Sam hiding under one of the fake ghosts in the yard, and he jumps out, and you see
screams.
the sheet. Yeah. Oh, that.
And like chops her to bits with this fucking lollipop.
You see that iconic bitten orange jack-o'-lantern sucker, and then blood
everywhere.
Yes.
Now, the one part that I said that got me the most was when he finally wakes up, and it's probably 2 a.m., I'm guessing, that he walks out and he's looking around. Well, let me reverse. Go back. So when she's like trying to take down the decorations and there's like that fake rubber bloody arm hanging out, like hanging down from the tree.
Yeah.
And she bumps into it and freaks out. I'm like, bitch, you hung those decorations. How the fuck did that arm scare you?
Yeah.
I mean,
she's
really?
afraid of her own decorations.
Right.
She knows that they're not real.
Right.
She knows.
Yeah.
But she's still
I just don't even see how they would decorate that cool of a fucking front lawn. And she would be such a prude to take it down.
Yeah. You can save it for the next day.
Right.
Oh,
well,
but babe, my mom's coming tomorrow, bitch, so?
Right. Have your mom help you take it down.
Yeah. Leave it. I'll deal with it tomorrow.
Right.
After I play video games.
Yeah, you're just going to play video games all day and then my mom's coming over.
Uh-huh.
Get over it. And then when he walks out and he looks at that bloody arm with the fucking wedding ring on it as the blood's dripping down, and he was like, oh, that's just decoration. And then he turns around and he starts pulling the sheet off. How do you not know that that's your wife's hand? Like, you would be able to tell my hand.
I think he did know. That's why you could see, like, when he walked outside, he seemed a little more calm. But then when he noticed it, he started to get a little suspicious, like, oh shit, something bad just went down. And that's when he turns around and he sees the ghost with the orange lights underneath it, and he immediately starts pulling it down to look, because you can see the look of, like, fear in his face as he's like pulling it off. And then when it reveals his wife's head with the lollipop jammed in her gullet,
in her pie hole.
Yeah, and that's kind of when cue the music.
Beep, boop, beep, boop.
I love that song.
I do too.
Yes.
I think it would have been really cool if at some point during the movie he actually like carved someone's face as a jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
That would have been super cool.
Well, speaking of
death,
carving somebody's face into a jack-o'-lantern, let's move on to the next scene with Mr. Wilkins.
Mr. Wilkins.
Charlie, an overweight child who vandalizes jack-o'-lanterns, is caught stealing candy from unattended bowls left by his school principal, Mr. Stephen Wilkins. Seemingly taking the offense in stride, Wilkins offers Charlie a candy bar while lecturing Charlie on the importance of respecting Halloween's rules and traditions. Charlie gradually feels more unwell until he begins to vomit chocolate and blood. As Charlie dies, Mr. Wilkins reveals that he laced the candy with cyanide.
He didn't reveal that it was cyanide. He just revealed that he laced it.
Well, yeah.
Because he looks at him and goes, always check your candy.
Yeah. I like how, I like their little back
banter.
and forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wilkins, just telling Charlie about, oh, my dad used to do this with me when I was a kid. We would carve jack-o'-lanterns on Halloween night. And, you could just see Charlie sitting there, like, just
bored,
shoving his pie hole with all this candy.
No.
It's like, I better go. No, you're not going anywhere. No. And then he pukes, and it's just a river.
Oh, my God.
A river of chocolate
and blood.
Yeah. It's hard to tell, really, if it's both or one or the other, because it's so dark.
It is.
But it looks really cool. It's a really cool, and it's a practical effect. None of that is CGI either. It's all, there was no CG in this movie.
And that blurping blurp noise was fantastic.
Oh yeah, it was great.
I loved it. This scene, so when he drags him into the house, I always thought it was chocolate. I didn't know it was laced with cyanide until you just said so. I just thought maybe he laced it with something else.
Yeah.
When he has the blood running down his shirt, I was like, man, that's some really rich looking chocolate.
Yeah. Well, it had like a red hue in it when he gets in his living room, when he's carrying Charlie in, because you can see like on his shirt, it's got that red hue.
I know, but I thought it was like dark chocolate or something.
Yeah. Well, there's like flavored chocolates, like cherry and raspberry and stuff like that. Those chocolates have like a red hue in them because of the flavoring of that particular fruit or whatever. So
one of my other favorite parts, this whole movie's a favorite part.
Yes.
When he's in the backyard and he's trying to dig up that hole. So when he's dragging his body out back, and he gets into the backyard and he's digging a hole, and then we get introduced to Mr. Craig.
And Billy Wilkins.
I was going to do that part here in a second.
Because when he's digging the hole, you hear the window open from the top floor of the house.
Then he goes, Daddy, I'm home for trick-or-treating. Can we carve jack-o'-lanterns?
Daddy has a date. I want to go to the parade with you. Well, you can't, buddy. Daddy has a date. Oh, I never get to do anything. Why don't you go inside and watch Charlie Brown?
Charlie Brown's an asshole.
Billy Wilkins.
I love that part.
That child is precious to me.
He's so precious.
He is so adorable. His cute little curly Jufro looking. He's so adorable.
Did you notice that when he's digging the hole, the hand that grabs his leg was not
Charlie?
Charlie?
Who was it?
It was a clown costume.
Oh.
And there's also another thing that I noticed tonight that I never noticed before.
Okay.
When he talked about, when he was saying, Daddy, we can call jack-o'-lanterns. Daddy, I want to go to the parade. Daddy, I wish Mommy was still here. Think about that.
Daddy, I wish Mommy was still alive. How many times do I say that to Gunner when he's trying to get our attention?
Daddy, 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 Daddy.
Daddy, I want to go to the parade. Daddy, I wish Mommy was still alive.
But think about that.
Yeah.
I wish Mommy was still alive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's, yeah.
Implied.
Oh,
It just now clicked tonight.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jace pointed that out to me like the second time I saw this movie.
Mm. Well, I noticed the kid with the clown hand, that clown hand grabbing him. I noticed that last year.
Yeah.
That was like, what?
I noticed it when we went to, at the start of this month, to go see it at the theater. Yeah.
We got to see it in theater.
Yes. Oh, I'm really disappointed that Quinn Lord, who
Could
played
not be
Sam
on this episode.
and the little peeping child in the monkey costume.
He was at the beginning.
That is correct.
Ladies, there are children out here.
That cute little sumbitch was Sammy.
Oh, he's so cute. He got to see his first set of titties. That wasn't his mom's.
Right. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. So also in this scene is when we were introduced to Mr. Krieg.
Ugh.
So, but yeah, we're introduced to Mr. Krieg, the grumpy hermit,
I like it when
played by Brian Cox.
Wilkins cuts off the kid's finger and throws it to the dog.
Oh, Buster?
Yeah. No, Spike.
Or Spike.
Spike.
Yeah.
And then he walks out and he's like, Spike, are you done taking a shit yet?
Get your ass in here.
Get your ass in here. What's that smell?
I got an NRA membership in my pocket.
And I know how to use it. Wilkins, what does that smell?
It smells like a dead hooker.
It smells like a dead hooker out here.
Just the septic tank backed up again. Jesus Christ, fix it. And then we see Wilkins bashing Charlie in with the shovel, hitting him in the face with it, trying to kill him because he's squealing and moaning and groaning. Mm-hmm. And he finally just clubs him one, and then
I'm pretty sure he wops his head off because you kind of hear that.
Oh, yeah.
And then he goes back inside to go meet up with Billy so that they can carve jack-o'-lanterns.
And you can see Krieg in the window.
Banging on the window.
Banging on for help.
Wilkins, help me!
Yep.
Wilkins.
Screw you.
Yep.
And then you see Sam just fly across the window and attack Krieg.
He tackles him.
Yep. Tackles him to the ground, which is a piece from the final story.
They flip it. Yep.
Anthology. Yep. You're just seeing it from Wilkins's POV at the start. And then we go into the basement.
Where he takes Billy down to the basement.
Yep.
You gotta help me with the eyes.
After Billy scares the holy shit out of him.
Yep. And did you notice that he's wearing a toned down Chucky costume?
Yep. He is dressed
it's like neutral.
Yep.
But he puts on that scary mask and he jumps around the corner and scares his dad. He's Billy Wilkins.
Yep. And he's even got that curly red hair like Chucky.
Yep. Oh, he's such a doll face.
He really is. He's a very cute child. So next...
Oh, we get down to the basement, though.
Yes. Oh, yes. Sorry.
And so as Wilkins is, like, grabbing Billy's head, and he's like, don't forget to help me with the eyes. He picks up this huge butcher knife, and you hear shunk as the knife sinks into something, and you're thinking, oh, no, he's killed Billy.
See, that's what I thought
I did
happened when I
too.
first saw this movie. I thought he just killed his child.
Yep.
So,
But he did not.
But we do find out that he is a child murderer.
Yes.
He is...
Because Charlie's head is sitting on a swiveled platter with a knife in his head.
Yep.
And Billy's like staring at it intently.
Don't forget to help me with the eyes. That was a creepy scene.
That was a very creepy
You just
scene.
see a decapitated Charlie on this little swivel board.
Uh-huh.
And Wilkins and Billy are just
But they're
looking
sharing
down at him.
a daddy and son moment.
It shouldn't be as wholesome as it is, but it kind of is. In a very disturbing, creepy way.
Oh, absolutely.
So up next, we are introduced to a group of teenage trick-or-treaters. Macy, Chip, Schrader, and Sarah collecting jack-o'-lanterns when they meet Rhonda, a Halloween traditionalist dressed as a witch.
So when they first are introduced, they knock on Wilkins's door.
Yep.
And they asked if they could borrow some jack-o'-lanterns for
UNICEF. Which is, that's a big Halloween charity.
Something.
They always do special stuff, and they're really notorious for it.
Oh, yeah.
I remember seeing the commercials for it as a kid. Yeah. UNICEF was all over the place this time of year. But you don't really see it that much anymore.
You really don't. Yeah. So then they move on to the next house, which is, I'm guessing, one of their other teachers.
Yes. Oh, God.
And that was...
Do you want to come in for a drink? Sure.
No. we just need to borrow... Can we have your jack-o'-lanterns? And then they turn around and walk away, and the pirate kid looks at him and goes...
Oh, Chip.
Yeah, Chip goes, I just seen... What was it? I just seen a pig butt-fucking a hot dog.
Yeah.
Or a duck, or what was it?
Their PE coach was dressed as a hot dog, and he was butt-fucking a pig.
Was it a pig?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're seeing...
In the background,
yeah,
the teacher in front is in a sexy, slutty cat costume, and she's like, "Isn't it perfect?"
And she's like twerking in children's faces.
Ugh. And then she goes to get the candy, and they look inside the house, and there's like this. The best way I can explain it is like a furry orgy.
It's a very adult Halloween party that children should not be looking into.
I just seen a coach as a hot dog
butt fucking a pig.
Oh.
That he was so like confused and like traumatized by what he saw.
I would have been too.
But
at that age, I would have been traumatized too.
Oh, 100%.
So then they meet up at Rhonda's house, which Rhonda's house is gorgeous with all of those fucking jack-o'-lanterns.
Oh, she's got hundreds of them just scattered all over the yard, and they all look good.
Gorgeous. So they meet up with what they call Rhonda the retard. It's very distasteful.
Yes.
Because she's special, but she's not super special.
She's autistic, yes.
There we go. She's autistic. So they take her little jack-o'-lanterns and they go down to the quarry.
Yeah. And I like how on their walk, her and Chip are talking, and he's asking her about, oh, did you make these jack-o'-lanterns? Like, these are really cool.
Well, remember what Angel Face said to him?
Yeah.
Showtime.
Oh, yeah.
That he had to put on this act.
Yeah.
Because they were playing a trick on her.
They were going to play a very nasty, uncool prank. And so they get to the quarry. Well, before they get to the quarry, Rhonda she explains what Halloween meant, and that it's a Celtic holiday that predates Christianity.
To Samhain.
Celtic, which is Irish. You're welcome, America.
Does that have the story of the bus, or do I need to look the bus up?
But yeah, so they're explaining they're going to this quarry to offer these jack-o'-lanterns to these special needs children that were killed in a bus accident that was put in place by the bus driver and the parents.
It wasn't the bus driver. The parents of the children paid the bus driver.
They paid the bus driver to do this, and he agreed to it. Which you get kind of, it's like a flashback scene. And so you see all these kids, they're riding on the school bus, and they're in, you don't notice it beforehand, but they're in shackles on the bus, so they can't escape. Mm-hmm. And this, it's got actually a really heartbreaking little moment in it, because the kid that's dressed up as a vampire, he's
counting down the houses and how many stops until he gets home.
Like, he knows where his address is.
And then instead of turning right, he turns left, and he says, wrong way, wrong way, wrong way.
I want to go home.
Yeah, so he gets to the quarry, pulls himself out of the shackles as the bus driver's in the back of the bus, and he flips it into drive instead of reverse because he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, prior to that, though, the bus driver is giving candy to the kids in their trick-or-treat pails.
In their Halloween costumes.
Yeah, and checking to make sure that the shackles are tightened.
So the bus takes off the quarry edge, and it it sinks to the bottom.
Yep. And
the bus driver.
And watching the whole thing unfold is Sam.
Of course.
Sitting on a log, just
checking it out.
Just putting out the vibe. Like, okay, this guy's on my checklist if he gets out of this. And then we go back out of the flashback scene back into real time, and what happens then?
So they take this little elevator, outside looking elevator down to the bottom, and she says there's only room for 3. So the first 3 go. Rhonda's stuck with what's his name? Chip.
Yep.
the pirate kid. And so he's talking to him like, hey, you got a cool eye patch. And he's like, thanks, your pumpkins are cool too. And so they finally get a chance to go down to the bottom. And as they're offering up the pumpkins, these zombies come out of nowhere and start chasing Rhonda. Well, Rhonda slips and falls, busts her head. And they're like, oh, Rhonda, it's a joke. Are you okay? It was just a joke. So Rhonda punches one of them in the face and starts screaming and crying. And they're like, all right, guys, we got to get out of here. And then they head back to the quarry, and all of a sudden there's noises and more zombies, and the kids rise up out of the water and chase them out. And then Rhonda runs to the elevator, jumps in the elevator, and goes straight up and looks at them in like, haha, you fucked me, so now I'm gonna fuck you because you're not playing a prank on me again. Little did she know, she just got them kids killed.
Schrader was actually the only decent kid in that bunch, realizing that this whole prank was stupid and mean.
Yep.
And so he's trying to console Rhonda and tell her, hey, it was just a joke. Mm-hmm. Everything's cool. I promise. I'll sit here with you until you're cool. And she eventually came to and then served up a little bit of revenge of her own.
Absolutely. Well, she thought that they were playing a prank on her again.
Yeah.
Is why she was just like, yeah, right. I'm going to go ahead and go up. You guys can eat it.
Yeah.
And then who was sitting there waiting as she was walking past?
Little Sammy.
Little Sam.
And
he looked at her.
Like, you done good, kid. I'm proud of you.
And she looked at me. And I looked at her.
Mm-hmm.
And she looked at me. And it was such a cute, she was like, she kind of like nodded to him like, yep.
Yeah, she actually looked over at Sam and kind of like, hey, I see you there.
Cool. And kept going.
Have a good night. But I don't know if,
now
she realized that
I think she
Sam,
probably thought it was a trick-or-treater or somebody just hanging out.
Yeah.
Now, there's a fun fact in that one which connects to potentially the next story. So as the kids are going down the elevator and they're down in the bottom of the quarry,
when you
in
hear
the background you can hear
the werewolves. Yep.
Which connects to the next story of...
This is a great transition. So the next scene is now we are introduced to Lori, a self-conscious 22-year-old who joins her sister Danielle and friends Maria and Janet for Halloween.
Do you know where those names came from?
I do. Lori was named after Laurie Strode.
Mm-hmm.
Danielle was named after Danielle Harris from Halloween 4. Maria and Janet, Janet Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And Maria, I don't know. So, Laurie Strode from there's
a lot of callbacks to different horror movies. It's great.
John Carpenter callbacks because Trick or Treat, Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
It's I like it. I think it's pretty awesome.
Also, Brian Cox's character in this is based off of
John Carpenter.
Yep.
Well, the way John Carpenter looks.
Right.
His appearance is because of the scraggly white hair. The long scraggly white hair. So again, in this scene, Lori and her sisters, they're at a costume store.
Yep.
And
on Halloween night, getting costumes together.
Yep. And they're all fairy tale princesses
characters.
Characters.
Well, there's Little Bo Peep, Snow White, Cinderella, and then
Lori is Little Red Riding Hood. Which is funny because Little Red Riding Hood she took on a wolf and bada boom boom boom. All these women are wolves. And
when you come to find out,
they're
making very, very nonchalant innuendos, and it sounds like they're trying to get their sister laid on Halloween. To where she's like losing her virginity, and she's like, I know it's your first time. But I want it to be special. Don't say that.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to happen. Just stop. Let me choose the guy for you. And all the guys she chooses are just like, oh.
Well, the one that they actually ended up choosing
in the party.
Lori's was this guy dressed as a giant baby that had like
barf down his shirt.
Yeah, he had like fake vomit on him, and
I'm pretty sure that was real vomit.
Oh, because you think he was just drunk?
I mean, they went out into the woods. They had a bonfire party out in the woods where they were drinking.
Yeah,
and of course, why not get people drunk before you kill them?
You literally devour their corpses as fine dining.
Yep. But I like the way she's like walking through and like trying to find herself and find her person.
Her meal for that night.
We did not say the introduction to Mr. Wilkins's character when he was out in the alleyway.
Yeah, he's in this. He is actually in this scene again.
Yes, but he's in the alleyway.
Yes.
In between.
It's in the parade.
It's in between.
It's in between the costume with Lori and her sisters and
No, the costumes was
quarry.
at the beginning.
The quarry.
I thought the costumes were at the beginning.
No, it was in
Okay.
between those two.
So he ends up making out with this chick in this alleyway, and he bites her neck, and she starts bleeding, and he starts like biting her and making her bleed, and he kills her, and she's like screaming, "Help me, help me!" And he's got these fake vampire teeth in his mouth.
And she's really into it until she realizes that this guy is killing me.
Yeah, like he's already ripped my neck out. This is not cool.
Yeah.
It's a little bit too rough there, buddy.
Yeah, he pretty much bites her throat out almost and sits her on a bench.
No, she's on the ground next to two other drunk people.
On the side of a building, and
she's bleeding.
When he goes to close her eyes...
I would have flinched too.
You can see her like flinch.
I would have flinched too.
Like when someone's about to touch your eye and you do that, yeah. She's supposed to be dead.
Right.
But you can see her eyelids flinch as he's closing her lids.
Yeah. I wasn't really paying attention to that part.
I noticed it tonight
yeah.
right before when we were watching it right before we recorded this.
So that's kind of the introduction, is he's like playing this man on the prowl who is hunting alone young ladies.
Yeah.
He's really not that. Ugh. But we've all had those nights, haven't we, ladies?
Well, that's kind of supposed to be the theme with vampires, though, isn't it?
Yes.
At
the
least
vulnerable.
At least
young
when
ladies.
you see them in their truest form.
Oh, shut the fuck up! Oh God. I know. I know.
That was you. It's funny because it doesn't apply to me.
No, it doesn't. Because I haven't shown you my true form yet.
Oh, stop. Before I have Josh Hartnett come shoot you.
Please. I'll make him one too.
Well, that happened to him. But that's a whole other
It's been
movie.
about 20 years, so I think we're all right.
So we've got Lori and her sisters finding their dates. Lori's sister, Danielle, asks out the guy that's dressed up like either...
He's a Christmas elf or something.
An elf or maybe Link from Zelda.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But he's really nerdy and really like stuttering and talking.
He's
weird.
nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Maria and
Yep.
Janet? No. Yeah, Janet.
Yeah, Maria and Janet.
They ask out the video cameraman from the news station.
Yeah.
My, that looks like some heavy equipment you got there.
We need dates.
We need dates. But Maria was already 6 sheets to the wind at that point.
Yeah.
She'd been drinking since she ended up on camera.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that.
And then they all pile into the
news van.
Into the news van, and they're all drinking in the back. And if you look in the back, Maria has a flask, and she's just like chugging.
She's pouring it out.
Oh yeah, she's ready.
She's pouring that shit out.
So, going back to the bonfire scene where they're sitting there.
Yes.
Or not sitting there, but they're standing there. Danielle is super worried. She's like, oh my gosh, where's Lori? I'm so worried about her. Where's she? And she's like, well, where's her date? Maria walks up and she's like, you want a drink? She's like, no. She goes, well, where's her date? And they look over and the dude's passed out. And there's vomit down his shirt. And you hear tree branches breaking and boom, this body falls wrapped up in
the cape.
Yep.
And it's revealed to be Mr. Wilkins because they pull his mask off. But
what's your name?
Steven. Steven.
Well, Steven.
And then Marilyn Manson's cover of Sweet Dreams plays. And then...
Well, they ask her, are you okay, Lori? And she's like, I'm fine. I just took Janet and Maria's advice and was playing hard to get.
Yep.
And she's got a bite mark and blood running down her neck.
Yeah, and then that's when you realize, oh, this is some kind of sacrificial thing that's about to go down.
Because it's beautiful. It's one of my favorite cinema scenes of all time.
It's very artistic.
I love
very
it.
artistically shot.
I also love werewolves anyway.
Yeah, dogs are cool. There's a round one sitting next to you on the couch.
I know, a very big potato.
All dogs are squishy potatoes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I woke you up.
Even Anna Paquin goes from her human form into a squishy potato.
She is a very squishy potato.
all the squishy potatoes.
So at this point, she's like talking to him as like, and you still don't know what's going on just yet. And she's like, "You've got to bear with me. It's my first time. You know, please be gentle, or I'll be gentle.
I'll be gentle. It's my first time.
It's my first time." And then you hear everybody howl, and she just like looks up, and like her bones start cracking.
You see all the transformations from human to werewolf. All the girls are pulling their skin
They're
off.
taking their costumes off, so there's titties everywhere.
Yeah.
And then they start like taking their fingernails and like cutting their skin off and peeling it as dancing to this song.
Just throwing their human flesh into the fire and on the ground
and knowing
everything. And it's...
See, I'm wondering, did they already have their ritual? Like, did they already do theirs?
They did their killings because before you see before they...
Oh, that's right. There's dead bodies everywhere. When Steven hits the ground, he looks over and there's bodies. Yeah,
he's like kind of like looking around in a panic, and it shows from his POV. You see just corpses just laying up against trees on the ground. None of them have been eaten yet, but they have all been killed. And so they're waiting for Lori to kick off her like initiation into this pack of other werewolves. And then that's when everyone's transformation starts.
So they joined in transforming again.
They did it as like a group.
So that they can make her more comfortable. Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was figuring.
Because
I was like, did they already do that?
She was the pup of
her
the
mom,
pack.
Danielle did say, Mom always said she was the runt of the litter.
Yeah. She's the youngest of all the others.
Right.
So she was like, but they wanted to do it as like a comfort thing for her.
Fucking her transformation. Goddamn.
Oh, all of them were amazing.
No, but Anna Paquin's like the camera in her face.
Yeah. And you can see her spine, like you see the ridges
like pop out her vertebrae. Just yeah.
And the sound of it.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds so good. Just the crackling of those bones.
Her teeth. I like her teeth and her contacts, and her makeup is very light, but it's fucking effective. Being a makeup artist, that is amazing.
It looked really good.
Loved it.
And I loved how they really illuminated her contacts in it. The yellow in her eyes. Yeah. Like when it would, like the light from the fire kind of bounced off of it. Yeah, it looks so good.
And the little bit of black on the inside of her mouth.
Yeah.
My. What big eyes you have.
And then Wilkins dies. And you can, like, when she hunches over, like, into his neck and she just starts ripping.
Yep.
It was so good.
That's probably my favorite. I mean, that's my favorite scene of the entire.
And at the end of that, sitting on a log watching the show, Sam. Yep. There he is again.
Right there.
But this final scene is where Sam really comes into play, and you get to see this is his time to shine, because now we're going into the final act where we get to see Mr. Krieg. So Krieg, who is Wilkins's hermit, Halloween-hating neighbor, scares trick-or-treaters off of his doorstep. As the night proceeds, Krieg's encounter escalating phenomena. The house is egged. The lawn is filled with jack-o'-lanterns.
That's at the very end.
And the hallways and the ceilings are scrawled with Halloween and Sam Hine greetings. So after he scares the kids off with Spike in his cute little bat costume.
He puts him in a costume, but he amplifies his bark and it's going roar, 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 and making these weird noises. I'm like, oh, that's so cute.
And it's a little Jack Russell Terrier in a bat costume.
He's so cute.
And he's got these little green LEDs like attached to it like a headband.
Yep.
Like two little green GoPros.
They're so cute. But you think it's this terrible monster coming out.
Yeah. Because inside Krieg's house, it's pitch black.
Yep.
You see nothing. But then you go inside Krieg's house and he turns on the lights and he's watching that what was that infomercial?
Oh, the flavor injector.
Yeah.
That big old needle that you would stick inside of the meat and shoot the
for those
in.
Of us that are our age and older, you remember this
and
infomercial.
Your parents probably had one.
No, we never did. I never knew anyone that actually had one, but this was a product that in my youth I was very familiar with
because of all the infomercials.
Oh, it was on every channel had that as a commercial somewhere. That product was everywhere, but I've never saw it in stores. Excuse me, or anything like that. But yeah, he's watching the Halloween parade on TV, drinking his whiskey, eating
Straight out of the bottle.
Straight out of the bottle, eating his
garbage.
Salisbury steak TV dinner.
Oh, and that was some cheap looking whiskey too.
Oh, it was terrible.
Oh, it looked terrible.
Yeah, well, plastic bottle is it's not the best stuff.
No.
I mean,
No.
we should know that.
Yeah, we do.
Anybody who drinks really should know that.
No.
You don't get the plastic bottle stuff.
Rude.
So, any hoodles.
So after the kids leave, he goes out back.
Yep. And then that's when you see his POV with encounter with Wilkins.
Yep.
When he takes the dog out, he takes little Spikey out.
Well, he let Spike out first.
Yeah. To go.
No,
do his
he has a
business.
dog door, doesn't he?
Yeah. No, he's
thought he
got
had
the
a
back
dog.
door open.
Okay.
And
then he's Spike. Are you done taking a shit yet?
That smells like a dead hooker out here. Wilkins, what are you doing? It smells like a dead hooker out here.
So then he goes back inside and his front door's open.
Yeah.
And there's no lights on.
Yep. And then that's when
Spike runs upstairs.
Yep, he runs upstairs. Krieg follows, only to find that Sam has left a little present for him
In his bed.
in the bedroom.
There's movement in the bed, so he flips the sheets over, and it's like
Yeah.
this robot skeleton hand going queek, 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 and like moving.
Yeah.
And then he like trips and falls because it freaks him out. And then all of a sudden, the
jack-o'-lantern like
explodes.
engulfs in flames.
And then the whole room lights up, and it says "Trick or treat,
Oh
give
yeah,
me something good to eat."
all over the walls,
In
the
blood.
ceiling, in blood. Yeah.
And I'm very sad to say that blood was probably Spike.
Don't say that.
They said that Spike dies because if you listen, you can hear him.
I know. He killed Spike.
Nothing to deserve
And
it.
then Sam and Krieg do battle throughout
Well, Sam
the house.
cuts his fucking Achilles tendon
Yeah, under the bed.
under the bed, and then he comes out and he's like, "What are you?" His
Every-
noises he makes.
Every time Krieg gets hurt.
So he cuts his Achilles tendon and he goes, "Meow," and then he falls on the floor again. Or no, when he falls down the stairs and he gets the glass in his hands.
All the candy
All the
that's
candy
made out
that's
of glass.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he tries to unlock the door and he can't because his hands hurt and he's going,
And then you see Sam climbing on the
"Oh
wall.
fuck that! That
'Cause
creeped me the fuck out."
He starts looking around for Sam because he can't find him. And when you see the upward shot, you see Sam like Spider-Manning towards him on the ceiling, jumps down, lands on his back, and starts to try to choke him out.
Yep. Well, he knocks him off, throws him
Yeah.
across the room, and then he blows his face off with the shotgun.
Yeah, well, after he rips Sam's mask off, he's got a
You
hold
can
of
actually
it.
see what he looks like under his mask.
Yeah, and Sam is actually his head is a jack-o'-lantern alien-looking thing. Looks really good, really good.
I love it. It's like a skeleton mixed with a jack-o'-lantern type.
A little bit, yeah. But yeah, then Krieg he shoots Sam in the chest, and Sam just sitting down slides across to the other end of the room, and then Krieg shoots his hand off.
Oh, to make sure that he really was passed
Yeah.
out. And his hand flies across the room.
Yep.
And then
Sam's hand comes back to life.
and starts crawling back to him.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really good fight scene between a child and an adult.
And an old man, and an angry child and his grandpa.
Oh, during the fight scene, he runs to the back window right as the fight starts.
Yeah.
And he bangs on the window and he's like, Wilkins!
Yeah, then
Help me!
Then you see from the inside of the house where Sam tackles him, and then they're just like tussling and rolling around on the ground. Sam's kicking the shit out of him. He's kicking the shit out of Sam.
He's the spirit of Halloween.
Yeah,
It's gonna kick the shit out of you.
Well, I mean, they each equal out their blows.
Yeah, they do
a little bit, but Sam comes back to life after Krieg's hands are cut up with the glass candy and his Achilles tendon is sliced open.
Ugh.
And he's got that candy bar sitting on his chest, but Sam pulls out the lollipop, takes a bite out of it, and then stabs the candy bar.
And he goes,
and you don't see him actually stab the candy bar, but you hear that crinkle, and you think, oh, he just killed him now.
No.
And nope, he just wanted the candy bar.
He tried to kill him. The candy bar was just at the right spot at the right time.
He took it off of his lollipop and ate it.
Remember, you have to give candy to all trick-or-treaters. That's what saved him.
Yeah.
It's because Crete gave him candy.
Yeah.
Even though he kind of took it for himself.
Yeah, he took it.
But he
It
was
was just-
happy. He was like, okay, thank you, bye. And
Yeah.
like strolled off.
Yeah. Put his mask back on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just hanging there on the mouth part of it wide open.
Mm-hmm.
And his cute little pumpkin mouth is chewing on the chocolate, and he leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
What you didn't see, and this is something that we completely left out, but when you first get introduced to Crete in the house at the beginning,
yes.
he was burning pictures.
Yep.
And one of those pictures was a picture of the kids
Yep.
on the bus.
Yep. And it is revealed that Krieg was the bus driver of that fateful night all those years ago.
Yep. And so these adorable 3 little girls as 3 little pigs come up to the door, knock on the door, trick or treat. So he has like bandages wrapped around his face and his hands, pulls out a handful of like peppermints and butterscotch and all the grandpa candy that you can get and puts it in their bags. And one of the little girls goes, "Cool mommy costume, Mr. Craig," and like turns around and runs off.
And he's just like, yeah, whatever.
Okay, cool. So he turns around and he
Thanks.
walks back and he's like, because of course he just got his ass handed to him.
Yeah.
And then he hears a knock on the door and he opens the door again. Trick or treat.
It's the kids from
From
the bus.
the bus. And then it, ma, wee, woo, wee, woo.
And that is the end of the movie.
But not the franchise.
Nope, because
Rumors!
it's not rumors, it's confirmed.
Is it?
It is. I told you like a couple weeks ago, remember?
I was probably drunk.
Well, you're always probably drunk.
I know. Don't tell me how to live my life.
But yeah, Michael Daugherty and Quinn Lord both have confirmed that Trick or Treat 2 is officially in pre-production. It has been greenlit. It is go time.
Yes!
So we are getting a sequel.
I'm so excited to see what they can do with this one. Like, they're going to bring more stories, and I really hope
Yes.
that they incorporate at least one of the stories from this one to kind of like tie into the first one.
Nothing from the first
Oh,
movie.
it's just going to be brand fucking
It
new.
is going to be a whole new cast. The only reprising character will be Sam himself.
Well,
It won't be Quinn Lord.
oh, of course, because it's been 20 years.
Quinn Lord is an adult now.
Yes, he is.
Because he was 10 when he did
Was he
Trick or
10? I
Treat.
thought he was 8.
No, he was 10
Oh.
or 9 or 10.
Well, maybe we can see if we can't get Gunner
He
in there to
was-
play Sam.
I better hurry up.
I know.
He's getting up there in that age
I
too.
know. Well, I'm going to be looking for casting calls because I kind of want to audition. Even if
Yeah.
it's an extra. I don't give a shit.
I want to say that I was there on
Uh-huh.
it while the cameras were rolling. Even if it's in the parade scene again or whatever.
I'd act like a dumbass.
Well, if it's anything like that book that you got me for the 10th anniversary, there is fresh stories in that, and a lot of them take place several hundred years in the past. So,
Oh, we might be going back.
Maybe I don't
Oh,
know.
God, I hope they go back. That would be so cool.
Well, Michael Daugherty wrote that book.
Oh,
So,
my gosh.
He's if it's gonna be,
Yep.
I mean, we might.
That would be cool.
But there's the new one is I'm assuming if it's like the book, it's gonna take place in different decades.
Oh, yeah.
So we might go back to fucking Salem
That would
Because-
be so fucking cool.
because that's not a Halloween trope now.
No.
So, but yeah, we'll see. But I'm excited for it.
Fuck yeah. How about we do some trivia?
Let's do some trivia.
Some fun things.
Some behind the scenes things that you probably didn't know.
There were 18 drafts of the script, and one theme that crept along the way is the idea of each of the stories represents a different stage of a person's experience with Halloween.
Yeah.
The first story with Dylan Baker and his son about how you introduce the holiday. The second one is the kids and your friends roaming around without parents for the first time. This one with Anna Paquin and her friends is Halloween in your 20s when it's all about sex. And the final story with Brian Cox's Halloween is in your twilight years. It's the Scrooge of Halloween.
It's kind of like where we are right now.
Yeah. Yeah, getting
This
there.
year. This year anyway.
Yeah.
This year anyway.
Oh, that's awesome.
What?
I didn't know, but the performers under the masks playing the kids on the school bus, they all have real disabilities or injuries, and they apparently had a blast during their shoot.
That's cool.
Their costumes were inspired by a mix of photos from Ralph Meatyard and Diane Arbus capturing real mentally disabled children on Halloween in their own homemade costumes.
That's cute.
That's adorable.
I love that so much.
The fight scene between Sam and Krieg involved an 8-year-old stunt performer as well as an adult stunt woman.
So, like a small
Yep.
lady was Sam.
Yep.
So, for all of the beatings that
Yeah.
Sam took,
It was a girl. It was a lady, yeah.
they had to make Brian Cox punch a woman.
I didn't know this, but in the School Bus Massacre Revisited,
Yes.
a 1958 Plymouth Fury from the movie Christine can be seen. An obvious nod to the John Carpenter movie and Stephen King novel.
So there's another John Carpenter King nod.
There is a lot of
Yeah.
Carpenter nods in this.
Yeah. Well, it is Halloween.
It really
I'm surprised
is.
that we didn't see somebody. I'm sure somewhere in that parade scene, somebody was dressed up like Michael. It's like but it's like a
somewhere,
Where's Waldo
yeah.
kind of thing. I'm sure somebody in that was dressed up like Michael.
No, more than likely. Somewhere.
Now I got to go back and watch it again. Darn. Look for it.
The film had many title changes before filming began, originally titled Season's Greetings, also the name of the short film.
Yes.
It was changed because it sounded too much like a Christmas film. Then it was called Halloween Terrors, Jack-O-Lantern Tales, October the 31st, and Trick or Treat. The final title was kept, but since there was already a movie with the same name out, they changed the spelling to Trick''R Treat.
Yep. Because the movie Trick or Treat stars Gene Simmons and Alice Cooper, Ozzy Osbourne, I think, is in it, maybe.
Yep.
So, yeah. And it's a completely different film. It's a good one.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I've seen it once, I think. Yeah, long time. It came out in like 86, 87. It was an 80s horror. It was an 80s horror movie, but it was really good.
Interesting attention to detail in the opening sequence of the film.
Uh-huh.
At 3 minutes 29 seconds to 3 minutes 31 seconds.
Uh-huh.
The dead school bus kids are visible in the background just departing Mr. Craig's house long before their exposition is presented, but exactly where their narrative would have taken place.
So you see the kids leaving Krieg's house.
We're going to go back downstairs and we're going to start it over to see they leave the house. I never noticed that.
You can find the opening scene on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, we can. Let's see.
That's cool. I never knew that.
I didn't either.
That's the school bus kids.
I was right. Billy is dressed similar to Chucky from Child's Play.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
The movie referenced, Mr. Krieg says, "You've got to be fucking kidding me," when he sees part of the supernatural killer, its hand, operating independently from its body. This is a nod to a similar scene in John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay. That's cool.
Oh, the blood used to show Emma's demise beneath the sheet was boiled right before filming so it would steam.
Huh. Really?
Yep.
Oh, so it would look like it was fresh in the cool, fresh warm blood in the cool air.
Yep.
And you like her body heat is what was causing the steam to create that effect. That's a cool. They had to. So they boiled fake blood
They boiled the blood, yeah.
like boiling water.
Mhm.
That's cool. So that was hot blood.
Yes.
Oh shit. Ooh, hot stage blood. Ooh. That would have been good. Ooh.
Ernest Harth has a cameo as Laurie's blind date, the giant baby. Where's that from?
The giant baby.
13 Ghosts 2001. He is called the Great Child,
Yes.
the same actor.
Oh, that's him.
Yeah.
He reprised his role.
Yeah.
Shit in my face.
Yep.
Oh my god.
I didn't know that either.
So
That's so fucking cool.
From that's him.
Uh-huh.
The giant baby from 13 Ghosts.
Uh-huh.
That's him playing the same motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. The Matthew Lillard, Shannon Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
13 Ghosts, yeah.
My hair is somehow going through my headphones and into my face. And I am not having a good time with that right now.
The original werewolf orgy in the forest was cut to Peggy Lee's Fever, which they also had playing during the film, but a studio executive rightfully suggests the song should be something with more edge and aggression. So they went with Manson's Sweet Dreams.
Okay. I mean, it worked.
I really like this one too. Every single death in the movie occurs off camera. The deaths are either obstructed by something or the camera cuts away right before the character dies. This is a rare feat for a horror film.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that one.
The hold music for the 911 call is the piano cover from John Williams' Can You Read My Mind from Superman. I'm surprised you didn't catch that.
Okay. Say that again.
The hold music when Krieg calls 911 is a piano cover from John Williams' Can You Read My Mind from 1978 Superman. I don't know how we got the rights to that, Michael Dougherty stated.
I do. I know how. Because it was produced by Bryan Singer, who directed and wrote Superman Returns, and in that movie, John Williams' music was used. So Bryan Singer probably had a role to play in that.
It was a tight 40-day shoot.
That's it?
It was a 40-day shoot.
It took just a little for a month.
Mm-hmm.
A month and a week to shoot that movie. That's impressive.
No, about 6 weeks.
That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Especially given the time you have to take to like break down all these practical effects that they used in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. I like that one. That one's a lot of fun. So we got time for one more?
Oh, absolutely. So the candy bar that Sam uses to attack Krieg is the same candy bar that he got from the principal earlier in the movie.
Yes.
The principal put razor blades in the chocolate bars he handed out.
Yeah, that one I knew. That one I remembered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the one that had the razor that he used to stab Krieg with and cut his ankle. That he got that from Wilkins.
Mm-hmm. Oh, at the campfire right before the girls' turn, a hot dog costume can be seen, implying that the kids' coach, who was seen at Mrs. Henderson's party, is now a victim.
Ah, well, that's what you get for butt fucking a pig. So, let that be a lesson, kids. Bestiality is wrong, and you shouldn't do it.
There are 8 locks on Craig's front door, one for each child on the school bus.
Okay, I didn't know that was. I didn't know that's what that was like a nod to.
I'm guessing so. And so the last one I'm going to go ahead and do. Last one. The kids who trick-or-treat at Mr. Craig's can be recognized as the bodies in the backyard of Mr. Wilkins' house earlier.
Huh.
The kid with the afro, the clown kids.
Oh, that clown. That was the clown hand that...
Yep.
Okay. Oh, okay. So Wilkins took all those kids out.
I'm guessing so.
Huh. Okay. Well,
Fun fact.
yeah, I guess so. The more you know.
If you haven't seen this movie and you just listened to this, congratulations, we spoiled it for you. But if you have seen it, hope you've learned more new things about it. You want to go watch it again.
Yeah, this movie is fantastic in every way. There isn't anything bad about it.
No.
Honestly, if I had to rate it, I'm giving it at least like a damn near a perfect 10.
I said 9.5.
For just it's a great horror movie, but it's the perfect Halloween movie.
Mm-hmm.
It is Halloween front and back.
Mm-hmm.
It breaks down all the traditions and just everything is just so good.
Carve some jack-o'-lanterns.
It's got some comedy in it. It's got a couple funny moments in it. So but damn it. God, it's so good.
Grab a pumpkin beer, carve some jack-o'-lanterns, light them up, put on that movie, throw up some Halloween lights.
Cue that theme.
Right?
God, the trick-or-treat theme is just epic.
It really is.
It's
it really is.
so good.
But I want to thank you guys for listening to our four part.
All 4 ports to Harlem.
But no, thank you guys for listening to all 4 of our Happy Hour-ween episodes. Universal Monsters. We had the found footage. We had the slashers. And now we have Trick or Treat. I've had a blast doing this.
I've already got a couple of ideas in the bank for Happy Hour-ween next year.
That would be super cool. Maybe we could work on some celebrities.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
I think so. One of them, I'll tease it now. Maybe we'll do it. I don't know. But exorcisms.
Oh, that would be fun. Possessions.
Yeah.
That would be a good one.
Possessions. That's the only time we're allowed to talk about religion on the show.
Ugh.
Because possessions are cool.
Possessions are kind of cool.
Possession movies kick ass.
They really do. But no, if you guys have any suggestions or anything that you want us to talk about or you have ideas, please throw it to us. Again, we thank you guys, the listeners, for listening to us ramble on about shit. And surprisingly enough, we are both sober. We have not had alcohol today.
We can't because medicine and illness.
We all know how medicine and alcohol affects me.
Well, if you know, you know.
We don't talk about that.
So our live show, our next live show, we're not going to do it here. We're going to Waverly Hills.
Fuck yeah, we
Sanatorium.
Next, well, it'll be this coming Saturday when you guys are listening to this.
We're gonna AJ from Dad's on Dayquil is gonna be on it with us. We're gonna hopefully capture some scary shit. because if you know anything about Waverly Hills, it's one of the most haunted places in not only America but in the world. Big tuberculosis hospital, 60,000 plus dead confirmed. There were some that were not confirmed, I'm assuming. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we hope you guys tune in to Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube for that. It's gonna be great. Can't wait to do it. But that is going to do it for Happy Hour-ween. Thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoyed listening to it as much as we enjoyed recording it for you. Please be grateful. But yeah, that's it. Happy Hour-ween has drawn to a close, and
You guys have a very safe and happy Halloween as well.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
And always remember to
check your candy.
Always wear a costume.
And don't blow out your jack-o'-lanterns before midnight. Happy Halloween, everybody. You guys stay safe.
Happy Halloween.